Take two.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Kapitanakis. I'm an accounting professor in the business administration department, and I've been asked to share a couple tips with you on some things that make my life easier while teaching online. So my first tip that I wanted to share was how to figure out how many minutes your students have attended your various Zoom sessions. So the easiest way to get there is to use this Zoom link on Inside Augsburg. There's other ways of getting there, but that's pretty easy. It'll take you over to your main profile here. Once in there, you'll go down to reports. And once in reports, you're going to hit usage. And then it will list all the meetings that you've had. So you have to specify a time period. So I'll go over here to last Thursday. And then it will actually, it'll keep up a month's worth of data. So I can go back a whole month and I can see all the different Zoom meetings I've had. With that then, if I want to know who came to that meeting and how long they were there, I would click on this participants button over here. I can see there were 20 participants in that meeting. When I click that up, it'll give me a report and it will give me all of the people that were in that meeting and how long they were there. I can export this into Excel, or there's a couple other formats you can utilize, or I can just look at it here online. So it can be very useful to know that who started with you in a Zoom class was still there at the end and how long they attended or when they dropped out. So that's been a really useful report. My second tip is I found this really cool online web-based video editor. It's free, it does not leave a watermark, and there is a pretty large size limit. So you can put about anything in there and then edit it. So there's different tools that you use, and the main one that I've been using is the video, the snipping feature. So I'll take my Zoom class after I'm done, because I typically record those, and I'll pop it in here, and then I will select specific parts of that class that I will pull the recording from and then allow students to go back through and look at. So basically I'm looking at just the things that would have been exercises or maybe material that would have been important for the students to know, instead of having the entire class out there. So that's really easy to use. All you gotta do is slide this blue bar to the section that I want. And then now it will just chop that section. There's a little chop feature here, and I hit save, and then it will process that video and save it in an MP4 format so that I can upload it. And I will typically upload it into Moodle or into Google Drive, and it depends. In this particular class, you can see there's a Zoom class highlights folder, which since I have two sections of that class, I load it directly into Moodle so that each class only sees their own. And when you do the little clips, then it makes it easier because Moodle does have a size limitation is for videos as to how large they are to allow upload. The other class that I only have one section of, I actually just do it as a link to a Google Drive folder so that I don't have size limitations in the same way. And that's the only class that's looking at it, so that makes it a little easier.
Take two.